All right, so now we're going to be covering the basic foundational kicking techniques for white belts. Now these basic foundational kicking techniques are going to set up all of the other kicking techniques that are going to be inside of our Hapkido curriculum. Now these kicking techniques are very few because white belts need to just learn a couple techniques and then later expound on them and grow their kicking curriculum and their repertoire over time. So the first and foremost is we have to be able to learn how to do stretching kicks. So we have two basic stretching kicks. One is going to be going straight up on the inside of the arms, and the other one's going to go straight up as well, but to the outside of the arms. And then later we'll go into crescent kicks, which will actually help stretch, but that'll be at a yellow belt level. So first and foremost, we get into a fighting stance right here, forward. Okay, so this is Chagi, and then we're going with a stretching kick on the inside of the arm, so it's still going straight up, and so I'm going to let my leg go straight up, just push your body, make sure that you roll your hips, open this foot just a little bit before you throw that kick, and then from here it's nice and straight, and hana, and go straight up. Now from here, the second one is going to go to the outside of the arm, so I'm just going to tuck my arm in, and gives me a little bit of a different stretch. Tor. And then, same thing, we'll go straight, hana, and tor. And then we do the other side, same thing, ha! And it's the same idea. Open that foot up, just a little bit of a pivot, hands are up, we're going to the inside, hana, then to the outside, tor. To the inside, hana, to the outside, tor. And you want to make sure that you practice them on both sides. And so going from there, I'm going into front snap kick. And front snap kick should be based on different levels, but we'll focus it towards the bladder level first. So I take my belly button right here, 4 fingers, and then right at the bottom of those 4 fingers is right about where the bladder should be. So that's where I'm going to start practicing that front snap kick. So front snap kick can be going forward, in place, and changing legs. Okay, so what we're going to do first is we're going to be in this position right here, and we're just snapping, putting it down and back first. So it's chamber 1. Now if you notice, I pivoted that bottom foot to a 45-degree angle. My knee comes up right here. I'm going to front kick with the ball of foot, set, and back down. You want to make sure you get that recoil. So again, it's 1, 2, so my knees up, 3, back, and set. You keep your hands up the whole time, and then from this, you want to have a little bit of rock of the hips. Remember to make sure to open that foot up just slightly, and then you want to snap. So it's hana, pa, to, pa, set, pa. And notice that when I snap, right here, my foot comes back at least to my knee height, and then I set back down. The other side, same thing, right here. This is putting it down and back, and it's hana, pa, to, pa, set, pa, ne, pa. And notice, same thing, recoiling at least to the knee height. And so then you can do it forward, okay? So we're walking our way forward, right here, hana, pa, to, pa, set, pa, net, pa. All right, and then from there, we can change our feet. So I'm gonna put it down in front, and it's a little slide back, put it down in front, and have a little slide back. So the motion looks like this. Hana, pa, slide back. See how I just exchanged my feet. Let me show you that slowly. Hana, 1, 2, and I gain that stance again, hands are up. Then to, pa, side, set, pa, slide, set, ha, and one more, hana, and to, ha. So those are your basic snap kicking techniques. Now, when we're on bob, right here, we're going to be aiming towards that bladder. Now, even though I'm aiming towards that bladder, I want to keep my knee somewhat high because I want to be able to show that I have the ability to kick up high too. So if I decide to kick up high, I have that ability if my knee is high. If I only bring my knee to that level here and snap, then it's hard to raise up and throw that shot. But if I bring my knee up high here and then snap, then it's easy to throw it to the chin as well. So we're just snapping, putting it down and back first. So hands are here. And from here, it's hana, pa, to, set, ha, net, ha. And notice that I'm rocking my hips even though I'm snapping. The other side, ha, same thing, hands are up, and hana, ha, two, ha, set, ha, net, ha. And make sure that you always recoil, keep those hands up, and your guard is a dynamic guard. So it's not going to be stuck like this. Yeah. Okay. You want to make sure that you're moving your hands as you're kicking. Now, from there, we're going into a push kick. Now, with our push kick, we're using our hips like a pendulum and rocking our hips forward. Okay. So when we're doing this, we're trying to focus hitting with the heel. Now, sometimes you're going to hit the ball of the foot. Sometimes you're going to hit with the heel. But the main focus is with the heel, so that way it teaches you to reach with your hips. So slowly, same thing, I open that foot up, I get my knee up here, and then once my knee's up, I rock my hip forward this way. Ha! And set, okay? So when we're doing this motion right here, again, hana, tul, up, push, and back. What that does is it helps me to use my hips instead of using just my legs. So in place in front right here, it looks just like this. Hana, ha, to, ha, set, ha. Let's do the other side, same thing. Hana, ha, to, ha, set, ha, ne, ha. And notice, sometimes you're going to be hitting with the ball of foot, sometimes you're going to be hitting with the heel, but if we focus on projecting that heel towards the target, then it's going to help us to rock our hips. If we don't, we're going to keep our hips back. So here, I'm not going to hit the bag too hard because he knocks over a lot. So the idea, same thing, this time I'll put it towards the solar plexus, okay, right here, okay, and we're going to be throwing that same push kick again. That push kick is to stop the person. And notice I've been putting it in back. This time I'll put it in back, sometimes I'll put it in front. So it's right here. Okay, now, right side putting in back. And notice that I rock that hip. Same thing, set. Other side. And hana. Now, we're going to go both sides this time. So in this position right here, hana. Make sure you set your feet. See, I'm rocking my hips. Set. And net. All right. Now, remember that your foot position is very important. What I mean by that is you don't want to be folding your toes underneath, especially when you're learning your front kick. So you want to learn to pull your toes to the position where you would be standing on your tiptoes this way. And this is called plantar flexion, okay? So I'm going to pull my foot straight, then pull my toes back, and that's going to give me the ball of foot position here, all right? Now, going into the next kick, which is our roundhouse kick, or aptora chagi. Now, this aptora chagi right here, we're going to be hitting with the instep and your shin, okay? Not just the instep and not just the shin, but both of them, because you want to be able to have distance judgment. What I mean by that is I want to be able to kick long, I want to be able to kick short, and I want to be able to kick medium range. So learning instep, I mean super long distance. Shin is closer distance. Instep and shin is at medium range. So I can have all three ranges when I learn my kicking. So first and foremost, when we're here, I want to keep a narrow pathway. Just like my front kick, my leg past my other leg, really, really close. They should be rubbing together. My push kick is the same. My stretching kick is the same. My aptora chagi is going to be the same. So it's one. See how my knee comes up? Now look at this pivot right here. Two, right here. Now from here, notice that my shin is middle lined with my shoulder right here. Now from this position, I'm going to kick through, pull back, and set, and the other side. Same thing, I get that pivot. Make sure you pivot your foot and then come up. But when you come up, don't come around. Come straight up this line right here next to the other leg. So it's hana, tul, set, net, hustle. And there's your stance. So what happens is we're gonna put this one down in front, but when we kick, we're gonna try and kick all the way through, not over here or over here, but through the target. So that means my knee has to be this position here, not this position here. So you see some older style kicks, if they bring their leg up and around and come this way, that is slow and inefficient. And I know a lot of people are not gonna like that, but it's the truth. So from here, we're gonna go up and over. So this is up Dura Chagi, which means front turn kick, as opposed to Dura Chagi, which is a turn kick coming around. So we're gonna go up and over. So the motion looks right here. Pa! Other side. Pa! Other side. Pa! Other side. Pa! And notice, I want you to pay attention to this foot. When I kick, this bottom foot has to pivot. And it pivots from 0 to 90 to about 135, okay? All the way to 180 sometimes if I'm kicking longer. So it should be facing almost to the back as I kick. That's gonna help me flip my hips, flip my shoulder, flip this knee, and get a good snap. So watch this bottom foot right here. Pa! And you see how it's about 135, right here towards that back. And the other side, same thing. Pa! Notice, 135, right towards that back. So make sure you keep your stance right here and motion a couple more times. Hana. Pa! Toward. Pa! And we can do this walking forward, putting it down in front. We can exchange it, and you want to practice all of those. Okay, so on the bag, first things first, you want to learn how to post. So I have this stance here, I turn that foot, then my knee comes up this way. But when my knee comes up, I want to turn immediately and pivot some more. So from this position, it's hana. Now notice that I get this post. What this post does is brings my shin to the middle line. So where the nose goes, down the middle of the sternum to the solar plexus, that's that center line right there. When I learn to do that and line it up with my shoulder, then I have the maximum effective strength on my kick, okay? And so it's also very, very efficient. If I kick right here and my knee only goes to here, I'm not going to hit hard. So I want to learn to post that shot. So I'll practice that over and over and over again. So my stance is here, working on that post, hana. And the other side, same thing, to. Now notice that I have that pivot on this bottom foot right here. My hands are up, I'm looking at it, the middle of my shins, right on target, same thing, hana. And then, same thing, to. And I kind of point right here at that nose, just as a reference, and then later, hands here. Okay, so now, kicking, hitting with the instep, and then we'll hit with the instep and shin, then we'll hit with the shin, okay? So first is just putting it down in back, all right? Now down and back is important, down in front is important, switching them off where you're exchanging them is also important. So down and back, so right here, and it's hana. See how I'm able to get right back to that stance? So I flip that foot and then flip it right back as I recoil. Hana. So I get it right here, other side, and hana. Right back to stance, and thing, hana. And right back to stance. So from there, we're kicking both sides. So we're going to alternate them, and it's right to left. Let me show you slowly. Hana, set. Tool, set. Now notice my hip position all the way through, not hip back here. Let me show you. All the way through, not hip back here, and body discombobulated. So it's looking like this right here. Hana, to, hana, to. And notice that I get my stance every single time. So then we start focusing on harder shots, really digging in with that shin. So we call this chopping trees, okay? And so the idea, same idea, coming up and over, but I'm going to really put my hip into it. And when I put my hip into it, don't stop until whatever is in front of you breaks, okay? So motion is looking like this, hana, hish. All right, so now we have Bob picked up. And you see we knocked it over. We're going to go one more time. And I want you to see this motion. Watch my hip go through. Watch how I'm getting that stance right after that, and I'm controlling my hands. So motion's right here, and I'm making sure I'm pivoting, I'm coming up and over. And if I learn to get this post right here, that's really all you need, other than your hip and your shoulder moving with you, and this bottom foot pushing off as you kick. So the motion is looking right here. Ha! Hish! And see how it moves. Same thing over here, and ha! Hish! And it moves. Good. So from there, you move this bag. Good. Back to where we're in frame. Now, we're going to go into oblique kicking. Now, oblique kicking is very important because this is a stop kick. It gets the person to back away from you, just like that push kick does, but it keeps it low towards the knee right here, the shin right here, the beginning of the quadriceps right here. I want to use that oblique kick somewhat low. So it's kind of like passing a soccer ball. So I'm in fighting stance. Now from here, it's like passing a soccer ball, but the only difference is I'm going to chamber up, okay? And once I chamber up, now I'm going to push in and bring it back. Now, I have to turn this foot just slightly, one, and now my feet are like if I were doing a butterfly stretch. So when I turn that foot just slightly, then I chamber in, one right here, now I can push my hip. But watch your hand. You're kicking low, thinking, oh, I'm going to get this kick. And you're going to do this, and your hands are here, and you're getting hit in the face. So you want to keep this hand up nice and high. So the motion looks like this. Hana, hish, back. Same thing. To, hish, back. Same thing. Hana, hish, back. Now notice that this is somewhat like that push kick. So when I was doing that push kick here, hish. Now that oblique kick is the same way. And what I mean by that is I'm using my hips the same exact way. You want to thrust your hips in as you kick, as your head goes back. This keeps a triangle. So if this guy right here has long arms and he's punching at my face, I don't want to be getting popped in the face as I'm trying to knock them back away from me. So when we're hitting on this oblique kick, we're hitting with our heel and the inside arc of the foot right here. You want to try and make it perpendicular to the legs. So the legs go straight up. It means my foot needs to be as sideways as possible. So right here on Bob, hata! It looks just like this. We'll go slow first. 1, 2, 3. See how it's sideways here this way. Hands are up, back, and set. So then we're doing a little bit faster. It's hana, ish, and back. Okay, good, ish, and back. Notice that I'm rocking my hips, okay? I usually don't use the oblique kick with my front leg. You can, okay? You can switch it right here and ish, here this way. But the oblique kick should be used with your rear leg. So if you're traditionally right foot back, then practice that right foot back over and over and over again. And then eventually start practicing that left foot. But be very, very strong on one side. So on this one right here, watch motion. And it's going to be faster. Hana, ish. Same thing. Now we're going to put some power into it. Watch my hips. To, ish. And see how I keep my stance? Keep my hands up. All right? Now, we've covered our stretching kicks. And those are straight up on the inside and outside of our arms. So we have the inside right here. Pop! We have the outside right here. Pop! We've covered our front snap kick right here. Pop! We've covered our push kick right here. Pop! We've covered our round kick right here. Pop! We've covered our oblique kick right here. Pop! And those are your basic foundational kicks for the white belt curriculum. Make sure you practice both sides, practice going forward, practice staying in place, putting it down and back, practice alternating your feet, and then practice using your hands right after that. So like say for instance, I was about to throw that front kick right here. Now, I'll practice with my hands too. Same thing with round kick, same thing with push kick and the oblique kick. Stretching kick, keep it for stretching for now. And then later, we'll add in our axe kicks and our crescent kicks. All right, let's practice. Thank you very much.